Welcome back, everybody, to American Metal Magazine, and we're kicking it off with Styron and Doom. Wow, man, that was incredible. That was Styron and Doom, only on American Metal Magazine. Hey, everybody, you got the dude here on American Metal Magazine. Coming up next, we have Styron Interview. Check it out on AMM.
Like, does the is are the fans really into more rock and roll in the area? Is that growing the fan base, that type of music?
Well, I think maybe I can take this one. So I mean, in Gothenburg, the metal scene has always been kind of big, and it's been like a place for this type of music. And also now with the new with the video that we released, the price. Um, at least I've got a lot of really great feedback on it, and people seem to
Yeah,
love that kind of music. So
sure.
I think this is gonna work.
Yeah, I agree with that. So that's good. I just hear that there's a really big metal scene in the UK, and I guess that's what I'm kind of getting to is that's pretty happening over there, from what I understand. Have you seen that? Have you seen some larger metal rock and roll festivals going on?
Yeah, we have in Sweden every year we have a bunch of massive hard rock and metal festivals. The biggest one is Sweden Rock Festival, and we have all the big names coming over here every year. Like you know, last we have like Motley Crue and Def Leppard and
Yeah,
Kiss and Iron
nice.
Maiden, all those big huge names.
Yeah.
Every year, and there are some more festivals over here going on in the northern part of Europe. So and also the scene for like the more aggressive and heavier sound of metal is huge here, like
Yeah.
Black and Death and Doom and such. There are plenty of small festivals that only have death metal on the bill.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. See, that's what
yeah,
I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a little
yeah,
heavier in some of the scenes.
yeah, it is. Yes,
Yeah,
so
man.
we're not into that scene. We play
Yeah.
like for like a traditional
Yes.
heavy metal or something like
Yeah,
that.
well,
But
I think, yeah, you're not full on death metal, but what you guys are doing is really what I really enjoy. It's a mix, really, where you've got a difference of composition coming in and then hitting into something that really is pretty heavy. You guys
yeah,
rock, man. You
yeah,
really do. You kill it. Don't be, if you're listening to this and you check them out, you're like, "Wow, man,
Hey
these guys
everybody,
do
you
really
got
kill
the
it."
dude here with American Metal Magazine. Hey, listen, man, I am so tired. I just got in from our world tour. Well, okay, I just kind of slept in, had some pizza, and did some Zoom meetings. But anyway, the whole thing is, man, we talked to bands all over the world. I had to get up really early in the morning to talk to people in Australia, and I had interviews, man, with people all over the world. The next one coming up is straight out of the UK. This is Silver Roller. Man, this band is incredible. Check out this exclusive interview only on American Metal Magazine.
Well, hey everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine, and we are on our world tour talking to bands all over the world. And I've got a real treat from you guys right here from Liverpool, and this is Silver Roller. Hey, Silver Roller, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. How are you? It's a pleasure, man, to be aired in the States, thrilled. So yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Excellent, excellent. This is Reverend Joni right here, Johnny, and we were just talking about that he actually had a little bit of a clergy background, maybe. Originally, I was just kidding around with that. Is that true, man? Am I hitting the spot there with that?
Yeah, a little bit, man. Yeah. So the a lot of the old session guys, because they couldn't play sessions all the time, a lot of them would become reverends to play organ in churches and stuff.
Ah,
And Billy Gibbons as well. He's a reverend, and it's just a couple of those things entered my brain, and I was like, how hard is it to become the Reverend Johnny Hodson? And it
right.
turns out it just at the time cost about $30.
No way,
So
really? I
yeah,
didn't know that, man.
um,
I got to become a reverend now, man. That's a new thing. I'm definitely
I'm
doing
gonna
it.
I'm gonna send you the link, Matt. So I don't know if you've heard of a band called The Wolf from the Netherlands.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so. Yeah,
Incredible band, man. Like in my by my estimation, probably the best band in Europe, I would say.
yeah.
And we toured with them, and I was speaking to Pablo, the singer, And I told him this story, and then we were driving from Carlisle to Glasgow, I think it was, but I told him in Carlisle this story, and by the time we got to Glasgow, he comes and he goes, Johnny, I'm a reverend now. So, it's like a pyramid scheme, man. It's like a pyramid
Yeah,
scheme.
well, that makes sense. Well, my name is last name is actually Dude. I am the
Amazing.
dude. It's really my name.
Yeah.
So why did I get in this profession? I don't know. But a few years ago, I was approached by Dudist priests, and there's actually a religion called Dudism, man. Because of the Big Lebowski and stuff like that. They wanted me to be the leader. I turned them down, man. I got time for that. I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So
That's
if I became the reverend,
man.
then maybe then I could put it together, man. Maybe
Yeah.
right. Reverend
But
dude.
this is the age-old problem with so many religions, though, isn't it? There's factions and it splits. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Half of them
You're
follow
right.
you, half of them follow you. You're just
that's a good
asking
point,
for trouble,
man.
I think.
Yeah, you're right, man. Let's not spread anarchy. That's a good idea. We'll leave that alone. So, man, tell me about what's going on with the band, man. You guys are in Liverpool, is that right? Based out of Liverpool.
Well, a couple of us are, man, yeah. And then the organ player lives in London, and the drummer lives up in Darlington in the northeast by Newcastle.
Okay.
So we are kind of spread out. But
Yeah.
me and the bass player are, guitar player is at the moment. So yeah, man, like we're quite a spread out band, but I think it makes for an interesting dynamic because when we get together, we have to achieve something. If everyone's traveled and everyone's moved around,
right?
I've done bands before that everyone's living like in the same apartments or in each other's pockets and all, and you just don't get anything done. It's too close all the time. So it's good, man. Like when we move around, and I think that kind of traveling rock and roll circus kind of thing gives it a good energy and a good vibe.
Yeah, I agree with that. 'Cause sometimes you're just fresher when you've been away from a scenario and come back to it. It's just everything's new, and the creativity seems to be there. I've done the same thing, like kind of hung out in a record house for a few days, and it was really hard to get anything done. I don't know. It was really tough for us to be creative in that scenario. Right. That makes sense.
I think sometimes it's like, and not even a physical, there can be almost like a mental cabin fever, where you're all kind of like just a little bit too close. Like there must have been times in old bands where like the guitar player's probably looking at me going, oh God, this guy again. I only saw him yesterday. Like this guy again,
Right. Exactly. So let me ask you, man, what is the scene like right now up there? Do you guys play out a lot? Are there clubs that are into the independent scene that host music like yours?
There's not as many as there was before COVID. I've got to say, there's a lot of good places shut down over COVID up in Liverpool.
Yeah.
But there's some great venues up here, man. Like the Jacaranda's a really good place. They've got a couple of places. They've got like a bigger venue and like a bar kind of venue. And the Basement is actually the first place the Beatles ever played as the Beatles.
Oh man,
that's pretty cool.
Did you get a chance to play there? Did you get a chance to play?
I've done it a bunch. I've done it a bunch, man. Not with Silver Roller, man. There was a great thing that every Friday an old mate of mine used to run called the Rock and Roll Circus, and the premise was that there was a guitar player, a bass player, and a drummer, and then he'd just call people he knows and go, fancy sitting in on this gig? Here's how much you'll get. These are the songs we play. And then another 3 would turn up and get up and have at it, and it was great. And you just kind of dust off standards: Zeppelin, Beatles, Dylan, Free, Doors, and then someone would look around and you go, oh, does anyone know Red House? And then, yeah, go on, I know Red House. And then you'd break it off, and then the bass player would be, what key is it in?
Yeah.
And it started at midnight and it would run till like 2-3 in the morning, man. And it was always great, man. It was like just it'd pack out, and you'd be flying by the seat of your pants, and you'd get to know some real good players. And I did it once, man, where I'd taken a guitar player I know, that I was in a blues band with, and he hadn't played for a while, and I got this call and said, do you mind if I bring Big Bill down. He'd love to do that. And we get through the first set. We've just dusted off all this stuff, Hendrix, Cream, Free, Beatles, and all this. And then at the break, he walks over to the bass player and goes, "How's it going, man? My name's Will." Didn't even know his name, you know, and everyone's playing together as like a band, and there's people paying to come in and see it, and it's great, man. Great, love all that
far
stuff.
out. Love it,
Yeah,
man. You know,
really cool.
that's got to be really cool, really, to be in that area, man, because of all the great bands and all the great venues that maybe are still running down there. I'd love to come and hang out with you, man. Just let's go to those places and have a few beers and check it out. But
man,
that's awesome.
Let's do it, man. And I'm in the city centre as well, man. I know all of the good places.
Like.
And some of the bad places too.
We're gonna stay away from those, man. I'm sure of that, right? Yeah. So, hey, man, what's going on right now with the music? Do you guys have a recent release? Are you in the studio? What's happening right now with tracking?
So since we released the record and did the first tour, we've had a lineup change or two. I think. Sometimes I think people's dream and the reality of making it work don't always line up. You know, I'm preaching to the choir here, you know, and it's one of those things, isn't it, man, where the guy you've worked with for ages, who's all in, and you know, he's this, that, and the other, all of a sudden goes, "I can't do it," and you go, "Oh, okay," and then it's never an opportune moment, you know. It's always, well, we've just announced the tour and now we've got to put something together, and we've pulled it off. And now it's time to kind of get all those demos together that are kind of half-cooked ideas, or some of them are, you know, 90% there, just need to work on the middle 8, or does it need a third verse or not? So in a couple of weeks, we're going to get into a room and start nailing those songs down, because there's songs that we play live that isn't on a record that will be on the next record. But now what we need to do really is get into a room, argue about the chords, argue about the structure, fall out, fight with each other, and get the demos down for the next record. So that's, for us, that's priority number 1 at the moment, man.
What do you guys do? Do you guys just rent a studio and get in there and work it out, produce it yourself, or do you reach out to have somebody kind of help you with tracking or the mixing? How does that work for you guys in terms of the production?
The last record, man, my theory on it is that if there is someone out there that knows better than me, let's pay them. You know, like if I need surgery on a broken ankle, I'm going to a doctor. You know, I'm not going to just go, I'm going to try and do this myself. Last time out, we used a great guy called Gareth Nuttall, who's in a studio just north of Liverpool, a place called Wigan. And he did a great job, man, because he I think admittedly at the time wasn't used to tracking bands playing live. He was used to bands like the drummer will come in on day 1, and then, you know, with the bass player, and then the guitar player will have a day, and then the singer has 2 or 3 days. But we were doing like a track a day. Like we'd track in the morning, and then I'd do some vocal takes, I'd get like safety takes on it, and then the guitar player would go and do his thing, and then the organ player would finish off, and then we'd move on to the next song the next day. And he was like, "Oh, you sure you want to do it like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, because that's what we are. You know, we're a band that plays together."
And I think that's good advice, really. You know, when you get into the studio, do what you do best.
Yes,
you know, too many bands get in there and they fall apart because they're just not used to that environment. And I think it's good to do that. I think it's good in there to get that core energy and structure down so that, you know, it comes off, and then you can always rework those parts, but capture that initial essence of the song in the original tracking. I don't understand why there's a fight with that in production. I've seen that before. I don't get that.
Yeah. And I think as well, man, I think it's kind of, because a lot of people seem to get excited about the record, which I'm really pleased with. But I think the difference is because so many bands now rely on that. The drummer goes in, plays to a click track with the bass player, then it's all perfect. And I was like, I like some rough edges. I like moments where it's not quite perfect. that to me is what's, because I'm a student of the blues, really, man. I'm a student of Muddy Waters and Elmore James and
Nice.
Howlin' Wolf and Sonny Boy and the soul guys, man, like, you know, Sam and Dave and Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding. And to me, it's about the feel
Hmm.
of it. Like,
Yes, I
if it,
totally know what you're
if it,
saying.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a
if it's
groove, man. There's
perfect, it's
it,
boring.
that's it. You know, in listening to Silver Roller from the first time I heard them on online radio, I was just blown away, man, because that's exactly it. You know, I thought this isn't something that's just overproduced. It's still energetic and it's real, and the sound is original and clean. And I just can't tell you, man, I really loved it. It was one of my favorite ones right out of the box. So if you haven't listened to these guys, then you need to come to www.americanmetalmagazine.com, where you can get a link to their website and their music, and you can purchase their music. So make sure, let's do that, because this band is definitely worth listening to. So, what
Appreciate
were
that.
those early influences for you, man? We just talked a little bit about blues, and you mentioned a couple, so we're going to talk about that now, because the
Yeah,
thing is, man, I feel that blues heritage in the rock, which is what is rock and roll, man. You said it earlier, bro. It is the blues. Come
yeah,
on, it is. All right.
yeah, yeah,
But what you've
yeah.
done with it is you've modernized it and you gave it depth, right? And but the groove is still there, man. So what were those influences, man? And it could be somebody getting you started too. It doesn't have to be a particular artist. It could be family
Yeah, man.
members. How did you get into what you're doing?
Well, you know what, man? Like, so my route into music, I think I was about 7, and we used to go on holiday to a place called Somerset, which is kind of southwest of where I am. Where in the country, it's about southwest. And my dad picked up a cassette at like a car boot sale of the Sweets' greatest hits.
Uh,
I think to kind of say to me, Mum, hey, do you remember these? And he puts it on in the car, and everything changed. Do you know what I mean? I was like, whoa.
yeah.
As
Well,
a little
what's
kid,
this?
I was just fascinated by it, like because I just like, what is this? Because the pop music at the time sounded nothing like the Sweets.
Yeah.
Um, then from the Sweet, my dad quite astutely said, well, if he likes the Sweet, he's probably gonna like Queen, right? So
Yeah.
I got
Big
some
influence
Queen.
for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, great band, especially
Man,
the early stuff,
incredible.
man.
Man, what
Especially, and I've
depth.
got you know what? Actually, I've got a bunch of, I've got Queen 1, Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack, all on vinyl.
Nice.
And it's one of those things. My girlfriend's a huge Queen fan, and she'll be like, "Oh, should we have like a vinyl night? Put a bit of Queen on." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds great,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, it sounds better on vinyl.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely, man. Yeah, no doubt about it.
everything does, doesn't it? You know, it's analog and that. And then
Yeah.
Queen toured with Paul Rodgers, and everything changed again, man. I was just like, "Whoa, who's
Hmm.
this cat, man? Like, this guy's unreal." And
Yep.
then that that's where, because I remember I didn't really know Paul Rodgers. I knew kind of he's a singer of Free, singer of Bad Company. I know a couple of the songs, and I was going to see Queen. I didn't care about Paul Rodgers all that much. And then
Hmm.
when they opened, he's cutting into Tie Your Mother Down, and I said to my dad, when I grow up, I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
dad kind of looked at me like I'd shown no interest in being a singer. I wasn't anything to do, but I was just like, that's it. I don't
That's
know
it for
what
me.
that is, but
Hmm.
that's it. And still now, man, like he is it. You know what I mean? That thing. And then
Yeah.
from there, I got into Free and Bad Company, and I found a solo record that he did in the '90s called Muddy Water Blues, and then
Oh
it all
yeah.
changed again.
Yeah. The whole
And I was like,
flavor. Right.
who is Muddy Waters? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then quite quickly, Muddy Waters became my god. Like, um, but honestly, man, like I joke about this a lot, but if the house was burning down and we ran out and she came out without fathers and sons under her arm, I'd probably send her back in to get it. You
That's
know,
great, man. Yeah.
it's
Go in there and get it.
it you know, it's one of those things, man, that just for me, man, like Muddy Waters just embodies Chicago blues. And I
Yeah.
know there's this
Right.
thing, oh, Muddy or Wolf. I love them both, man. Like it's a bit like the vocal on Smokestack Lightning would knock
Mhm.
the spots off. I'd say 99.9% of singers out there today, me
Yeah.
included in that. There's not
Yeah.
many people can stand up and holler a vocal like Chester Burnett could.
Yeah.
And that really was the foundation, because then I came back through the blues, the Stones, Humble Pie, the Faces,
Yeah. Right.
and found like Zeppelin, because I just got so into this thing that I then came back around, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's what the building blocks are. And I found soul from the blues as well, man, like Sam and
Mhm.
Dave, Otis,
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett, man. Um,
All of those artists have a special something, man. They
yeah,
got a thing about them, man. They found something like the magic dust, man, if you will, whatever it is. They found it. And I think that
yeah.
you guys have that, man. And so my question is to you, Johnny, what happens tomorrow when it all really does come true, man, and you find your stroke and you're getting record deals and you're getting the publicity that your band really truly deserves and you're really getting the
Mhm.
traction. Where do you want to go with this, man? What would you like to do with your music, man? World tour or studio
Oh
work,
yeah,
or is there a
yeah,
different
yeah.
direction you'd go? What would you want to do, man?
Well, I dream of making records and playing them to as many people as possible. Like
Yeah.
my thing is, because I'm of the opinion, and I said it to you before, man. To me, the music we all listen to, if it's got a guitar involved in it, that music was invented by sharecroppers in Mississippi,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was
Right.
recorded by Alan Lomax for, is
Yeah.
it Library Congress or something? And
Yeah.
I just want to go and play in Mississippi and Chicago. That's a dream, you know what I mean? I also want to go and do Japan and of
Sure,
course Europe.
man.
Um, I think we would blow their heads off in Japan. I think they'd just be like, "What the
Oh,
hell is
yeah,
this?"
you guys would kill it, man. There's no
Um,
doubt. Yeah. In the
but I
US too, man.
really,
Really.
really need to do Chicago, man. Like, because Chess Records is still there. It's a
Mm-hmm.
museum. 21
Mm-hmm.
20 South Michigan Avenue, man. I need to
Yep,
just go and kiss the door handle, because apparently
man.
it's the same door. So,
Yeah.
like, to the amount of guys and girls, man, like that walked through that door and then
Yeah.
changed popular music forever. That's, to me, would be the pilgrimage where I could say, okay, I feel like I'm doing the right
Right.
thing. Um,
Well, listen,
Memphis,
if there's a sponsor out there that's listening in, there isn't a better band that you could bring here to the US and bring on to tour. I know some labels, man. I think I'd really like to talk to you or just have your label. I think you're with some people, right? Do you have a label right now that you're working with?
no label right now. Just signed with management.
Okay, management company.
Yeah, Hot Socket Man, who are doing really
Oh
good
yeah.
things for us.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, that's
the
I worked with them, man. They're great people, man. They really
yeah,
got on the ball and set this up, so I
truly, man.
appreciate that. Those
Yeah.
guys. So, all right, well, let me
Um,
ask you. This is the hardest question, man, that the dude asks here. This is it, man. So, what do you think the hardest thing that you have to overcome as a band is right now? What is the struggle, man? What is the thing that you just beat your head against the wall and go? And sometimes it's multiple things, and of course, money is a big factor. But is it something else, man? What do you think is getting in the way most of all?
wow. I mean, money is a big one. Like, I've got a phrase that, um,
Yeah,
money and time are the enemy of every good endeavor.
yeah, right,
Um,
yeah,
every worthy cause.
mm-hmm.
And I think I would say time as well as money,
Yeah, time.
because
Mm-hmm.
time is money, or is
Yeah, that's
equal to
true,
money.
man. Well, it's
And
hard to make time to get the things done. A lot
yeah,
of people don't realize that if you're in a band, often you have to work during the day, you do something, and then if you're lucky, you're in the music industry or something. But typically, that's just not the case. If you're an independent band, that means that you're working, and then after work, you spend hours and hours and hours working on this music. You can't
yeah,
imagine the commitment that it takes to get anywhere. And
Yeah.
so, people should really understand that, man, and definitely come out of pocket and buy your tracks, because money will help, and it will give them time to
Yeah.
do what it
Oh,
is that
yeah,
they need to do.
for
Yeah.
sure, man. I think if we could get if we could just pause life for 2 weeks and go to a residential studio with nothing, we'd have the next 3 albums written, man.
Yeah. I
I
think
believe,
so. Yeah.
or there's certainly the basis of them,
Yeah.
because everyone's
Yeah.
got ideas, and then you're going on the road, you're doing this thing. We're all far away from one another, and then it's a case of, right, okay, so we've got to do this thing now, which is why I'm glad that in a couple of weeks we're getting into a room without any other purpose than to just
There you go.
argue about the demos, and write and create, and
Yeah.
and be able to walk out the room and hold that thing in your hand and just go, that's a new song. There it is,
Mhm.
fresh, kicking
Mhm.
and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that money is a big one, of course, but
Yeah.
time is equal to it.
Right.
Like I was, you know what, man? When I was younger, I think I'm like, when people say time is money, I now know that people mean that time costs money.
Yeah.
I used to interpret it as like time is equal to money, as in
Yeah.
like time is greater than equal to
E equals T or
money.
something like that.
Yeah, and it's only later in life that I've, like, you grow up, you've got a nice city centre flat that costs money, and you go, right, okay, I know what that means. I understand what that means now.
Well, hey,
But
listen,
yeah, I
man,
think
it's been awesome having you on the show. Is there anybody that you'd like to reach out to and just say hi? Somebody that's either even in your past, family members, or just anybody that's really helped you along the way, man. Who's helped you get here?
there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people. I'd like to say, I'm gonna say hello to Meg. And I'm also gonna say a big thank you to a guy called Marco Mendoza, who you might know as the bass player from Whitesnake. He was with Journey for a bit. He's currently out with Joe Satriani at the moment and Steve Vai.
Nice.
He was in Dead Daisies. He's a cracking solo artist.
Yeah.
And I was in a band when I first met him. I was touring with him, and I was in a band that was heavily drinking, as was I at the time.
Yeah.
And I was starting to dry up and go sober.
Yeah.
And Marco just kind of took me under his wing and kind of showed me the ropes, because he's been sober a long time. And he was great. And whenever he's around Liverpool, like, he'll take me for dinner, and he's a good dude, man. He's a really good guy, and I appreciate that.
And you struggled with it a little bit in the past.
Yeah.
How long have you been sober now?
I'm getting on 6 years, man. Yeah,
man,
proud
that's
of that.
fantastic. That's wonderful.
I've done some cool stuff, man, but that's the thing I'm proud of most.
And that is something to really be proud of, man, because you're a great man, and you're a great dude, man. And this was a great interview, and I really appreciate your time. And I can't emphasize enough, if you're out there and you're listening to this, or you're watching the podcast, go to AmericanMetalMagazine.com. Look these guys up. They're on the Am the Decks World Tour issue. And you can check out their links. You can listen to their band, check out their video, and you're going to be blown away. Trust the dude on this. This is the real deal, and definitely has been one of the highlights of American Metal Magazine interviews. Thanks a lot, Johnny. Thanks for having us with you.
Pleasure, man. Thank you.
Excellent. See you next time. Can I get a big go AMM? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go AMM! All right. See you next time.
Hey, everybody, get ready to go, man. This is Hello Enemy, a lot like you.
every day. Ease into what you will say. Would you say, walk with me, stay with me? I'm alive like
A lot like you. That's amazing. Another killer tune, man, here on American Metal Magazine. Make sure that you go to AmericanMetalMagazine.com and vote for these bands. You have an independent vote for every issue. So every issue is its own battle of the band, and winners go on to Band of the Year, including Song of the Year competition and Video of the Year. So if you're listening to this, go to American Metal Magazine. It's free to vote. Sign up today and get AMM. Woo! Hey everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine. This week we caught up with Hello Enemy. This is an incredible band. Check it out.
That really makes me curious when I talk to a band like you guys is what were some of those inspirations that you had growing up? And it doesn't have to be necessarily a band. It could be a family member, but what really got you down the road of rock and roll, man? What happened?
Who do you want first?
Wow. All right, and listen, I'll tell you a couple of anecdotes, and then we can talk more recent years. So, listen, I'm a drummer. My old man was a jazz drummer back in the day. So,
Yeah.
he, growing up, I always had a kit around. It's this lovely old Ludwig jazz kit, very kind of Beatles-esque era.
Yeah.
But my old man spent a lot of time when I was a kid, and when I say that, like as a baby, used to go around with mum, and we would help dad set up his kit at gigs on a Saturday night. So he'd play a wedding on a Saturday, he'd play a jazz club on a Sunday night, we'd do something on a Friday night. So for me, there was always this kind of like, there's the theater of music that I just grew up with, right? But then you also have this luxury of having a drum kit around, which a lot of kids don't. Guitar's a little easier, recorders a little easier, but there was always this kind of like drum kit.
This ain't no ukulele.
Yeah, definitely. There was no ukulele around, but a couple of harmonicas, mind you. But anyway, the point being, like, for me, it was kind of self-taught. There's this lovely little drum kit, and then my first kind of real rock and roll hero was Dave Grohl playing for Nirvana. So I'm 14, 15 years old and hitting this poor little jazz kit and beating the shit out of it. And then many years later, I would go back and refurbish my father's poor old jazz drum kit, out of respect for the fact it's this iconic piece of musical equipment. But that was what got me into playing the drums, and I owe that to my dad. But from a musical inspiration point of view, there was I think the time when you're I forget this stat, and I might be making it up, but I reckon you listen to 80% of the music that you're going to listen to by the time you're 25 or something like that. So you're kind of pretty set in your ways by the time you're in your mid-20s. And we're children of the grunge era, and that was like everything I ever needed. So Matt Cameron, Dave Grohl, Abe Cunningham from the Deftones. These are the sorts of drummers I just listened to over and over. Now that's on the international scale. And then locally here in Adelaide, we had a band you might have come across called the Mark of Cain. And they're an incredible metal band. They ended up having a drummer by the name of John Stanier, who was from Helmet. He came and played with them here for a couple of years, recorded, and he's my all-time hero, right? So that's a lot of the inspiration I took as a drummer from these rock and roll drummers, right? That was my drummer story. But I think what's curious about us as a band is we all like mostly the same stuff, but we've all got these little pockets of nuance that come from different parts of our history, which, you know, we can bring to the songwriting table, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think that's a common denominator that I have found in these interviews and in myself is coming from a home where there's musical instruments in it, and that there's drums around, or there's equipment around, or that music is a part of the home life. And a lot of people don't have that. I found, you know, I thought everybody did, man. What? Everybody doesn't have a drum set, you know, but that's not it. Yeah. Skip, what about you, man? What were some of those motivators for you, man? How'd you get going?
I was a bit of a loner, and like, I guess for you guys, like in middle school, like going into high school, and got beat up a lot. I don't know why. I didn't give a shit. I was just like, what the fuck's going on, you know? And I saw this guy. So my dad, because I'm a military guy and I'm from a military family.
Yeah.
And we were getting moved away to, you know, to the big city. And the day before, as most military families understand, you have a great big party and everybody has a great big time. And there was a guy playing guitar, and like, to me, for the whole afternoon, he was that guy just standing back in the corner with a beer, just holding, you know, keeping himself alone and just, you know, shy out of the way. And as soon as he had the guitar in his hand, he became this whole different, entire human being. And everybody loved that guy. And I was like, I want to be that guy where I don't get looked at. And then when I want to, I can, you know,
man,
it's taken me a long time to try and figure out like that, those put those two together. But it wasn't like that. I was like, I just want to be cool.
You know,
and
that's such an amazing story, because I've seen that in myself. I'm the kind of really a kind of a reserved person in school. I was the same way. And I almost was sort of shocked when I got on stage and started running around and acting like a madman, you know, and people reacted to that. And I'm like, you know, where did that really come from? Was it, you know, suppressed? Hey, I got to get out and, you know, express myself and just put it out here, or somehow it made it easier for me, man. I
think it's more, you know, there are a lot of people that do, you know, they get into boxing or they get into some sort of outlet of violence. I find a lot of people do, you know, or addiction, in a sense. But for me, music's been the outlet that's saved me from so many different things. Just got through a divorce. And it's still not pretty. And this whole album's been such a cathartic, if not a distraction, but also, you know, a great outlet. Yeah. Music's always been an outlet, and it's always been a home for me. It's of all the things, I always find that no matter what I do, if I'm being creative and I've got nobody looking at me, regardless of even if it's on a stage, but prior to that, you know, every creative understands there's a whole other backside to being on the stage. You don't just get on stage, you don't put things out there. There's a huge backstory behind the whole ordeal before you get there. And this whole album has been a great outlet for me personally, as well as emotionally and physically, in so many different respects. You know, only because it's just, you know, I needed to get it out, and it's great. I'd rather do that than
Hold on, everybody. Here it comes. Dead Empire. Dead Empire.
So you can
Wow, man. Dead Empire. Far out. Welcome back, everybody. And you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine. Check out Simple Stone. Wow, man. Simple Stone. That is a mind bender. Check it out, man. Only on www.americanmetalmagazine.com. Check out the EPK. Check out this band, Simple Stone. Coming up next on American Metal Magazine, we have an exclusive interview with an Australian band, Simple Stone. Roll it. Hey, everybody, you got the dude here with American Metal Magazine, and I've got a real treat from a band down under, and this is Simple Stone. Say hello there, Simple Stone, guys. What's going on?
Hey, how the hell are you?
Excellent. So, man, I'm really excited about you guys because I've been listening to a lot of your music, and I'm just blown away, man. I mean, first of all, I just got to say the production level is extremely high on everything that I've listened to. How did you manage to do that, man? You got somebody that's producing for you?
Yeah. There's a fella called Dave Blues who we use in here in Sydney, and we've been working with him for many years. And the last album, actually, the production on the last album was wicked. He did a really, really good job.
Yeah, really incredible job, man. I just, right off the bat, I saw that it really had it together, man. And I noticed that you did have a cover song that you guys had done, and I listened to that, and I just couldn't believe it, man. What a great cover of Dead or Alive. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of people that have done covers, and I'm like anti-cover guy. you know, because
Yeah.
I'm in the band too, and we play all originals, and that's what it's all about. But I just have to say that you guys did an incredible job, man, on that track. I was
Thanks.
blown away. I thought it was better
Thank you.
than any of the other covers I've ever heard in the original. It really
Well,
got me, man. It did.
that song
Um,
was aching to have a punk,
yeah.
vibe to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. And you guys pulled
So-
it off, man. It just, the style was fantastic. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. What's it like? You guys are near Sydney, or you're in Sydney? Is that right?
Yeah. We're from all different parts of Sydney.
Yeah.
We've been around for probably too many years, and we just get about doing what we're doing.
Not so much me.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
Bo's been with us for about 2 years. Yeah.
About 2 years. Well, when did you guys start originally?
Oh yeah, so 2001 was kind of the original inception.
Uh-huh.
We had a few lineup changes till about 2005, and then stuck at that lineup for quite some time.
Mhm.
Had a break, and then came back to it in 2015, and in the format that it's in now, with the sound that
Yeah.
we're in now.
Yeah.
And we found our straps. It was found our stride. It was good.
Have you think that you've changed a lot in that time, man, from
Yeah,
those early days?
Yeah, I change every day. I find fresh clothes are really important, especially undergarments.
Yeah, that's
Um,
always a good. I wasn't sure, man. You guys are from a different hemisphere, and I wasn't going to ask, but thanks for volunteering. man.
No, laundry.